मान्यवर, आपने बिल्कुल उनको आग्रह से कहना चाहिए, वरना हम भी हमारे मेंबर को बाद में समझा नहीं पाएंगे।
The members of the Security Council condemned in the strongest terms the terrorist attack.
सत्य भी नहीं सुन पाते हैं। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मुझे लगता है आपको प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहिए। इतनी असत्य बातें बोली गई कल, परंतु फिर भी असत्य को भी हम हलाहल समझकर पी गए। तो सरकार के प्रमुख विभाग के मंत्री को बोलते हुए बैठे बैठे टोकना, ये विपक्ष को शोभा देता है क्या?
Pakistan is a member of the Security Council. We are not. So we had to achieve our objectives in a Security Council where Pakistan is a member. Honorable Chairperson, I rise to apprise this august House of the foreign policy dimension of our response to the Pahalgam terrorist attack, going into the preparations for Operation Sindoor and how foreign policy was handled during Operation Sindoor. As all the honorable members would appreciate, it was important to send a clear, strong and resolute message after the Pahalgam attack. Our red lines had been crossed and we had to make it very apparent that there would be serious consequences. As a result, the first step which was taken was that a meeting of the Cabinet Committee of Security took place on the 23rd of April, and that meeting decided that one, the Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. Two, the integrated checkpost Atari would be closed with immediate effect. Three, Pakistani nationals who are traveling under SARC visa exemption scheme will no longer be allowed to do that. Four, the defense, naval and air advisors of the Pakistani High Commission would be declared persona non grata. And five, the overall strength of the High Commission would be brought down to 30 from the number of 55. It was very clear, Honorable Speaker, sir, that after this first set of steps approved by the Cabinet Committee on Security, that India's response to the Pahalgam attack will not stop there. Our task, from a diplomatic perspective, from a foreign policy approach, was to shape the global understanding of the Pahalgam attack. What we tried to do was to bring out to the international community Pakistan's long-standing use of cross-border terrorism. We highlighted the history of terrorism in Pakistan and how this particular attack was meant to target the economy of Jammu and Kashmir and to sow communal discord among the people of India. Now, the focus for our diplomacy was understandably the UN Security Council. And Honorable Speaker, sir, the challenge for us was that at this particular point, Pakistan is a member of the Security Council. We are not. So we had to achieve our objectives in a Security Council where Pakistan is a member. Now, our goals in the Security Council were two. One, to get an endorsement from the Security Council of the need for accountability, and two, to bring to justice those who perpetrated this attack. And I am glad to say, Speaker, sir, and I hope that this is appreciated and recognized by the House. If you look at the Security Council statement of 25 April, the members of the Security Council condemned in the strongest terms the terrorist attack. They affirmed terrorism in all its forms and manifestations constitute one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. And most important, the Council underlined the need to hold the perpetrators, organizers, financiers, and sponsors of this reprehensible act of terrorism accountable and bring them to justice. I highlight this, Speaker, sir, because this statement of the UN Security Council resonated throughout the international community. So when many honorable members asked today, where was the world on Pahalgam? I think the answer is there. The answer is there in a Security Council statement which says hold them accountable, bring them to justice, and that is exactly what we did through Operation Sindoor.
संरक्षण देना चाहिए। उनके स्पीकर जब बोल रहे थे हम पूरे धैर्य से सुने। मैं बताऊंगा कितनी असत्य बातें बोली गई कल, परंतु फिर भी असत्य को भी हम हलाहल समझकर पी गए। अब ये सत्य भी नहीं सुन पाते हैं। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मुझे लगता है आपको प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहिए। बैठे बैठे टोका टोकी करना सबको आता है, ऐसा नहीं हमें नहीं आता, मगर इतने गंभीर विषय पर चर्चा जब हो रही है तो सरकार के प्रमुख विभाग के मंत्री को बोलते हुए बैठे बैठे टोकना ये विपक्ष को शोभा देता है क्या? मान्यवर, आपने बिल्कुल उनको आग्रह से कहना चाहिए, वरना हम भी हमारे मेंबर को बाद में समझा नहीं पाएंगे।
Sir, I'd like to inform the House that on the 9th of May, Vice President J.D. Vance called the Prime Minister, warning of a massive Pakistani attack in the next few hours. Prime Minister, in his response, made it very clear. Prime Minister, in his response, made it very clear that if such an attack happens, it would meet with an appropriate response from our side. Now, sir, that attack took place and was foiled by our armed forces, and I think the House should collectively appreciate the performance of the armed forces in foiling what was a massive attack on the 9th and 10th of May. Now, our response, which the Prime Minister promised, was delivered, and it was delivered with devastating effect. I don't have to say anything. Every member has seen satellite pictures of Pakistani airfields. You can see from the state of those airfields, which shown by the pictures, what was our answer. Now, on the 10th of May, we received phone calls sharing the impression of other countries that Pakistan was ready to cease the fighting. Our position was, if Pakistan was ready, we needed to get this as a request from the Pakistani side through the DGMO channel. That is exactly how that request came. Now, I want to make two things very clear, sir. One, at no stage in any conversation with the United States was there any linkage with trade and what was going on. Secondly, there was, please listen. Secondly, there was no call between the Prime Minister and President Trump from the 22nd of April, when President Trump called up to convey his sympathy, and the 17th of June, when he called up Prime Minister in Canada to explain why he could not meet. So I would again, मैं इसको दोहराता हूँ, 22 अप्रैल से 17 जून तक
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी,